My name is Reverend Uche Igba, and my topic today is kings and political leaders are subject to God and not above Him. Kings and political leaders are subject to God and not above Him. Sometimes kings and political leaders of this world think they can do anything they want to do and exalt themselves above God. That is not so at all. God has allocated a frame time in which humans must learn to obey, love, and exalt Him, or else human beings will pay dearly for their disobedience. The times when the church was founded was a turbulent time like ours. The church was under heavy persecution. And the kings that ruled Rome at this time were the Herodians. Some of them were very arrogant, just like some kings today and political leaders are so arrogant and feel they are God. Again and again, God exerts His authority, reminding humans, He is God. No one can take His authority. And if they are not subject to Him, He can take them out, pass judgment on them, and take their lives out, because He is God and will take their breath away. And so we see King Agrippa I, grandson of Herod the Great, very arrogant and exalted himself above God. What did he do? He killed James because they were spreading the gospel. To please the Jews, he killed them. And then, because he saw that it was very good for the Jewish people, he wanted also to kill Peter. Because it was a Jewish holiday, he put Peter in prison to be killed the following day. But God, who is in control of life and death, who is the sovereign God, intervened. While Peter slept, God sent an angel to go and get Peter out of the dungeon. The angel came, woke up Peter, and Peter got up, got dressed, and the angel led him out of that huge dungeon and outside the prison. And Peter thought he was sleeping. He thought it was a dream. He didn't realize it was real until he came out of the prison. Then he suddenly realized God has sent His angel to deliver him. You can read this in Acts of the Apostles 12, 1-5. The same King Agrippa I, the grandson of Herod the Great, sat on his royal throne and sat on his royal throne, dressed himself in his royal attire, and made his great speech And the people shouted, "Here is God. He is not human, he is God." Immediately after that, an angel came down, smote him, killed him, and he was eaten by worms. You can read that too in Acts of the Apostles 12. Herod's grandson, Agrippa I, was eaten by worms. God is warning political leaders today who exalt themselves like God, who oppress their subjects and go into third world nations to do just about what they want to do, fomenting wars, telling third world nations, demanding that they do just what they want them to do, or else they will not help them financially, knowing that these nations are very poor. And yet they are using the resources, natural resources of these poorer nations to build their empires. God is warning you, as a political leader, be very careful. Learn to be humble so that God will exalt you. Fear God and do what is right, not fearing the people. Don't take the glory that belongs to God. You are a mere human being. You are not God. Be compassionate and kind to the people, to your subject who have elected you. Be kind to them, be compassionate to them. Respect poorer nations of the world. And don't, because you are a powerful nation, go in there to poorer nations, foment war, take all their natural resources and impoverish them, make their lives unbearable, so that they cannot even have just basic needs. God is warning you, don't do that. Stop doing that. King Nebuchadnezzar was a powerful king who oppressed his subjects. He did so many things against his subjects. As he boasted of the kingdom he built, a voice from heaven told him, "Okay, King Nebuchadnezzar, your kingdom is over." Right at that instant, King Nebuchadnezzar was led into the wilderness, into the forest, where he spent 7 years like a beast under the disciplined hand of the great God. And when the discipline was over, his senses came back and he repented. What did he say? "I, Nebuchadnezzar, extol and praise the God of heaven, because his ways are just, and whatever he does is right. And whoever exalts themselves, he's able to humble." That was Nebuchadnezzar, the arrogant king. So, political leaders of our modern time, they have to be very careful what they do, how they oppress their own people. You have no right to go into other nations, foment war, and oppress them and demand that and demand, and take their natural resources and impoverish them. You cannot do that. King Ahab did the same thing in the scriptures. What did King Ahab do? He took Naboth's vineyard. He came to Naboth and he asked Naboth for his vineyard. Naboth said, no, I cannot give you this vineyard. It belongs to my family for generations. They've owned it for generations. The king demanded the king demanded that, but Naboth refused. He plotted secretly and killed Naboth. But the God whose eyes run to and fro beholding the iniquities of men and women, sent his prophet to the king Ahab and warned him, the same place that he killed Naboth, that's where he also will be killed. And King Ahab died, was killed, right at the same spot where he killed Naboth. So, the kings of this world, the political leaders they have to be careful. Seek the way of peace, not the way of war and intrigue and arrogance. No. God is watching what you are doing. You must learn to exalt God, not yourself, not above God. Help you to serve people under your subject so that they can reach the goal and vision and destiny God has for them. Do not oppress them. God is watching what you are doing today. Everything is being recorded. Judgment can fall on you any minute or it can be delayed. But someday, you will receive the reward of your doings accordingly. Thank you. Thank you.